Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is one more lecture of atomic structure. In the last lecture, we discussed about the different points of quantum mechanics like de Broglie's hypothesis and uncertainty principle. So, in this video, we are going to see some more concepts regarding the atomic structure. That is very important concept, Bohr's theory. In Bohr's theory, everything which we are going to see, first we are going to see postulates and then radius of Bohr's atom, velocity of an electron in the Bohr's atom, energy of an electron, as well as the limitations of Bohr's theory. So these things which we are going to see in this video. Now first, as we know that when atomic structure is there, the prediction of atomic structure, initially Rutherford was atomic model could not explain the emission of electromagnetic radiations. Therefore, it was not able to account for existence of the spectral lines even for a simple spectrum of the hydrogen atom. But the Rutherford model was depends on structure of atom, which was introduced. One thing was there where in a nuclear model of an atom, where nucleus is a central part which is positively charged in a atom, then surrounded by the with negatively charged electrons, which was stated by Rutherford atomic model. But Bohr modified that Rutherford atomic model by this atomic structure by explaining that electrons move in a fixed orbital known as the shells, not anywhere in between. He also explained the each orbit has a fixed energy level by the Bohr's theory. So further, Rutherford basically explained the nucleus of an atom, and Bohr modified that model into electrons in their energy level. That we are going to see in this next picture. Now here we can see this is the Bohr's atomic model where the central part is which is known as the positively charged nucleus. For around this centrally positive charged nucleus, some electrons are revolved around it, maybe of first, second, third, likewise, which was in a nucleus in a orbit. Further, Bohr found in an electron located away from the nucleus has more energy. And electrons close to the nucleus have the less energy. So further, when we see into the postulates of the Bohr's theory, so what are these fixed orbit? They are namely as quantum numbers. We are given the certain K shell, L shell, M shell, and the N shell. Likewise, or we can say giving the number of integer number 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise, let we see. So whenever the postulates of the Bohr's theory of an atom, here we can see Bohr, he was proposed that in an atom electrons revolves around the positively charged nucleus in a definite circular path are called as the shells or orbit. It was proposed that centrally nucleus positive charge is there, around this nucleus charge positively charged there where it consisting of the protons which having the positively charged particles. Further, these electrons are around the positively charged, that is nucleus. Each orbit has a shell fixed energy. It means they each circular orbit has a fixed energy known as the orbit shells. The energy levels are represented by a simple integer number like 1, 2, 3, 4, or in a alphabetic, that is K, L, M, N, like capital assigned as K, L, M, and shells of the alphabets. The electrons in an atom move from lower energy to higher energy. Always electrons are moved from lower energy to higher energy level by gaining the energy. Means whenever the electrons move from lower energy to higher energy level, definitely they absorb some energy, and when move from higher energy to lower energy, they release the energy. Means by losing its energy, they can move from higher energy to lower energy. Only certain stationary states are allowed for which the angular momentum is quantized, and the angular momentum is given by mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi. This is very important angular momentum, that is mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi. Now with this the Bohr's atomic model, we can find the radius of a Bohr's atom. That is, according to Bohr, the balance between centrifugal force and the attractive force between the electron and positively charged nucleus that keeps the electron revolving in the orbit. As we know that Here centrally positive charge is there because nucleus contains of the protons which having the positively charge, and the outer, that is orbit, in orbit electrons are there, they are having the negative charge. So they can be balanced between the centrifugal force and the attractive forces between the electron and the positively charged nucleus. If we consider, if there is a z protons in the nucleus, and if r, that is small r, which is the distance of this electron to the nucleus, where r is the distance, that is radius of the orbit, then electrostatic force of attraction between these two differently opposite charge is there, that is z e square upon r square. Here E is being the charge in the nucleus, where the centrifugal force also we can define mv square upon r. M and V are moving the mass and velocity of an electron in the orbit. We equated both centrifugal force and the electrostatic force. We can write mv square upon r, which is the centrifugal force, electrostatic force, that is z square upon r square. After this calculation of r and r, with when we can write here, simplifying, v square is equal to, that is z e square upon mr, which is the one thing. Next, according to the Bohr's assumption, just we studied that Bohr's assumption of the angular momentum. What was the statement is there? Mathematically, it was mv square, mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi. Here v can be calculated, that is nh upon, by simplifying, v is equal to nh upon 2 pi m square. Once if it is square, you take this equation as a square, what you will get? V square n square h square 2, it will become 4 pi square m square r square. By this substituting this equation of v square value in this previous equation, which equation there is in this equation, if you substitute and simplify, what you will get it by substituting this equation in the previous equation. So you will get it, r can be we get by simplifying, r is equal to, here we can see, r is equal to, that is n square h square upon 4 pi square m z e square, which is the radius of an Bohr's atom. If you can substitute, what is the n? N is the principal quantum number, means where it electrons is present in which orbit. If n is 1, the first shell, if you can write n is equal to 1. If it is, because h is a Planck's constant, this is a constant value, pi is a constant value, mass is the electron, charge is, here we can say for hydrogen atom you can put it 1. Here the number of protons, that is where in case of hydrogen it is the 1, is the charge. After simplifying the if by calculating m, putting the 1, so we will get, for radius of first orbit is equal to 0.529, which is the value calculated in Armstrong. For second 2.12, for third 4.76 Armstrong, by which we can calculate the radius of a Bohr's atom where the electron is situated. That can be, distance can be calculated. Velocity of an electron, again we can calculate the velocity of an Bohr's atom. So by substituting the very simple value, v already we defined there, v is equal to, where the equation in substituting the value of only r, by we have the v equal to n h upon 2 pi m r is there. By substituting r value, r, what is r? N square upon h square upon 4 pi square m z e square. But here it is, we can write here simply, here I will write here, v is equal to n h upon 2 pi m, here you can write m, and it is the r. Here only the r value, which already proved that, already we substituted in the previous equation, we derived the r value, that is radius. What is that? R equal to n square h square upon 4 pi square m z e square. This is in already the denominator, this is the r value, which is already the denominator. Denominator becomes the numerator. So after simplifying these things, 2 get cancelled here, by 2 get cancelled. After the value you will get it, v equal to 2 pi z e square nh. This is the velocity of an electron, which is a Bohr's atomic model. Okay, this is the electron we can calculate in the Bohr's atomic model, velocity of an nucleus, velocity of an electron. Next is energy. Energy also can be calculated with the help of the simple values, where the total energy of electron is the sum of its kinetic energy and the potential energy. The potential energy is always in the negative value, since the electrons and the nucleus attract to each other. So therefore, here the distance by the work done in the electron, bringing it from infinity to distance from r, where we can write total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy, that is E is equal to, kinetic energy we know it very clearly, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square minus potential energy z e square upon r, which one is there? But what is half mv square is equal to? Just half mv square, we define that half mv square is equal to z e square upon 2r, where substituting these both equations, that is this is a kinetic energy, that is square upon 2r, where we can substitute here z e square upon 2r minus z e square upon r. So this is 1 upon 2 means this is a half, 1 upon 1 means this is a 1. So when we can subtract this half minus 1, so what you will get? You will get the minus 1. means याच्यामधून जर आपण हे हाफ पार्ट आहे प्लस हाफ minus 1 is there. By substituting these things, what you will get? You will get E, that is En is equal to z e square upon 2r. So we have the r value. R value आपल्याकडे आहे. R can be right after simplifying. You will get En, that is energy of an electron in the nth orbit, is equal to minus 2 pi square m z square e raised to 4 upon n square h square. This is the energy of an electron by simplifying all the values. This is the last, that is limitations of Bohr's theory, where we can have the limitations of the Bohr's theory. In Bohr model, the quantum idea of stationary orbits is mixed with the classical idea of the Coulomb force. Also, the assumptions of only clear circular orbit and totally unjustified. It cannot explain this is very important. This cannot explain the structure of an hydrogen atom in under the influence of magnetic field, that is called as the Zeeman effect. What is Zeeman effect? Here the hydrogen spectrum, distribution of hydrogen spectrum in the magnetic field, that is called as the Zeeman effect. Here it doesn't explain the no idea about the Zeeman effect, that is splitting of spectral lines under the influence of the magnetic field. And it also cannot make any calculations about the transition or selection rule which applies to them. Further these are modified, but initially these are some limitations of Bohr's theory. So with this I will stop here. I hope you understand the Bohr's theory concept, where the postulates as well as the radius of a Bohr's atom, velocity, energy, and the limitations of the Bohr's theory. So with this I will stop here. In the next lecture we will see some more concepts. Thank you for watching this lecture. Thank you so much.